I'm a filmmaker, you're a filmmaker. Let's talk about it. Here in Ohio, the weather's starting to get nicer and we're all spending much more time outside. So I thought it'd be a good idea to go ahead and make a video talking about how to get the best shots out of crazy situations you're in, or where you're trying to run against time or the sun, and just trying to get the best shots you can outside with little equipment and just trying to make things look as best as you can. If you're tight on light, time, or resources, these are great ways to go ahead and try and make your shots look really good as quick as you can. Ways to manipulate light, balance your camera, compose your shots when you don't have lights, tripods, or dollies at your disposal. First up, light. Right now in Ohio, when the sun is very low and it's about to set around 6 or 7 p.m., things look really cool. Just picking the right time of day to go and shoot can add a lot to your shots and make up for light that you may not have. But how can we light our entire scene using only the sun and maybe one other light? If you're outside during the day, you've really got two lights. You've got the sun, and odds are you've got a flashlight on your camera. Using the sun as your key light fills as much as you can of the actor that you're shooting, and taking your flashlight, this only really works for a close-up, but if you take your flashlight and fill in maybe if the sun's shooting down here, fill in these spots on their face with that flashlight, get real close with the flashlight, and it adds that little white dot in people's eyes that really add a bunch of life to them and make them look just much more alive in the scene, and it adds a lot. For light inside, you can quickly add light to the entire scene using just one light. If you've got a white ceiling and you shoot one light right at the ceiling, it'll splash down onto everything that's under the ceiling, and it'll light your entire scene as best as you can with just one light. If you don't have a white ceiling, you can get a bounce board. If you go to Walmart or Target, anything like that, and get just foam, white foam, and just bounce your light off that, it works the same way. Since we're trying to be as light as possible and not trying to carry around too much equipment, and we don't have a tripod, most of these shots are handheld. So how can you add some style to these shots? If you want to be J.J. Abrams for a little bit, you can go ahead and get down low on the ground and shoot up at your subject into the sun, and that'll get you those nice lens flares that he's always working with. It looks really cool, and if that's what you're going for, it'll add a lot to your scene. Another technique for something similar is called lens whacking. You take the lens off your camera and you hold it right in front of the sensor. This lets a bunch of light spill into the sensor without actually being filtered through the lens. It's really good for a dreamlike or trance-like state, maybe for flashbacks, things like that, and it looks really cool if that's the style you're going for. So what are some other things you can do? Well, if you shoot right into the sun and drop your exposure, let's say you're standing right here with your camera, you got your subject here and the sun right here, shoot right into that and you'll get a nice silhouette where the character is mostly in black and there's just sky behind them. Just like everything in filmmaking, it's a combination of luck, thinking outside the box, creativity, and talent. Without these constraints on you, you're really losing a lot of creativity. When you've got all the money in the world and all the visual effects possible and just a huge crew and there's really no limit to your resources, I think that's where a lot of creativity gets lost. When you think outside the box and you are really focused on trying to get the best out of what little resources you have, I think that's where a lot of unique and interesting films come in. And I think that's where we are. As always, thank you guys so much for watching, and if you like what you saw here, don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, and share. This has been a Runaway Brand production, and I'll see you guys next time.